I request Mr. Kristian.
Thank you.
If, yeah. So this Mr. Kristian E. Holmefjord, who is Executive Vice President and Project Director, the fuel cells in Carbus Energy. Kristian.
Thank you, Prakash. So now I hope everyone can see my screen. I'll start with a short introduction of myself and Corvus. I'm the project director for our fuel cell development in Corvus. Let's see if we can remove this one just away, so there. And have worked in the marine industry my whole life. I worked with the design of ships, with design of powertrains, and testing and commissioning, getting ships running, type of hybrid technologies. I joined Corvus Energy a few years ago. Corvus Energy is the world's largest supplier of marine energy storage systems. More than half of the world's ships using battery technology are using batteries produced by Corvus Energy. We're only 12 years young, but we've headquartered in Norway and we've built production sites both in Norway, in Vancouver. We're having partnerships in Japan. We're spreading out our global presence with battery storage. And that's what we're now touching on, and I'm going to talk more about the fuel cell development that we're doing in Corvus. The reason why Corvus has come so far on batteries is our maritime DNA. All of our employees have some connection to either building ships in a shipyard, operating ships as a captain, a chief, a decksman, or designing ships. So we're building that maritime DNA together with our partnerships on the battery and fuel cell systems. We're owned by a group of very large energy companies such as Shell, Eikeland, Hydro, that have a very long-term focus, allowing us to grow and invest in both battery and fuel cell development. So to put it in just figures, today we have about 400 projects, more than 330 megawatt hours of batteries installed in different type of ships, all different segments around the world. And this is really what we're building on now when we look at what we're doing on fuel cells in the hydrogen environment and in the hydrogen-based fuels. So earlier this year, we announced that Corvus is starting the expansion to develop our fuel cells, marine fuel cells, together with our batteries. And we also announced our partnership with Toyota. And Vikram touched on this today, that the scale, the volume is a key part of getting fuel cells and, of course, the fuel, the hydrogen, out there in use in all industries. So we look at Toyota as one of the core partners to bring marine PEM-based fuel cells into the industry. And Bernd also touched on it very nicely in his speaker presentation. There's a lot of different vessels. Some will have to use will have to use ammonia or some type of fuels with heavy density. Some will use hydrogen and PEM technologies. And we've started our development now with the PEM technology running on hydrogen. We'll have a few pilots running in 23 with a type-approved product that is commercially then available, mass-produced from Corvus with the Toyota technology. And then we'll bring in the high-temperature fuel cells that you need to mix in the different type of energies. And the different type of energies is really a key part here. And Bernd showed some of it with saying, well, where batteries are, where hydrogen and PEM fuel cells, solid oxide fuel cells are. Looking at a similar illustration here for the marine use, we have, this is Corvus core today with our batteries and battery production. We're supplying electric energy storage, which is an extremely efficient way to operate vessels, assuming that you can do it electrically. And then we have all these fuel types, the pure hydrogen, compressed or liquid, the different ways of storing hydrogen-based fuels that can prove to be a sustainable future for all of us. Putting that into combustion engines, into fuel cells, into heaters, depending on what type of power you're after, and of course the efficiency part of it. So you end up with vessels being operated on these mixture of clean fuels. And that is really not one answer of fuel cells batteries for all type of vessels. There are certain vessels where batteries really are key. It's where you have the possibility to charge, you have the infrastructure, you have the application, the time to charge. Then you really target to use your energy as efficient as possibly. So short distance routes, short distance ferries, A to B, very applicable for large battery operation with smaller fuel cells. And the other part, where we look at long distance intercontinental shipping, where you're going very long distances, then your fuel cells, most likely solid oxide, maybe reformed with PEM technology, where you're carrying fuel that can be stored for these long distances. So you have certain applications here with large fuel cells, certain application with large batteries, but the major application is here in between. There's a huge amount of vessels in the world that will have not necessarily 50-50 mixture, but they will be somewhere between here. And that's a matter of optimization. And to talk sustainable in optimization, we need to look at both environmental sustainability and economical sustainability. So one of the aspects that Corvus works on optimizing for our ship owners, our customers, is this mixture. We have our battery technology, we have our fuel cell development, so optimizing for the different applications in marine is really a core aspect. So it's optimizing cost-wise, make it as efficient as possible. Should you run on electricity, on hydrogen or other fuels? At what time should you run on the different ones? And how much will this system end up costing? And the cost part there is part of why we partner with Toyota to get the volume and scale on our fuel cells. It's the same we're doing on batteries. We're partnering with the world's largest producers of battery cells, which are the electric vehicle and power tool industry. And why Corvus is doing this is really, we follow our mission. We're powering a clean future in the ocean space, and we have a vision of being the leading provider of zero-emission solutions to the ocean space. And we can proudly say that today we are that, based on our battery technology, based on all of those 400 vessels out there running on batteries, either hybrid or full electric. And we're seeing now hydrogen, ammonia, hydrogen-based fuels becoming an extremely important part of the future, and Corvus will be part of that future with our vision. So that was 6 short minutes for me. Thank you, and I'll hand it over to Prakash.
Thank you very much, Kristian, and such a illuminating and talking about the marine sector again, and then talking about all the from the short distance ferries to the long distance ships. This providing those what could be the best option available for the all kinds of the shipping modes. Thank you.